Hello, in today's video we're going to look at 5 of my favorite licks from Django Reinhardt solo in minor swing. A little while ago I posted the transcription of this solo and Grappelli solo in minor swing, and if you have the time I suggest learn the whole thing. But if you don't have the time and you still want to improve your lick vocabulary, here's 5 of my favorites. Starting with number 1, and it sounds like this. Such a nice little lick. Now in the solo, he plays this over an E7 leading to A minor like this. What's going on the fretboard? You can use either your first and third finger, or like Django, first and second finger. I use my first and third for no particular reason. And my third finger, I bar the bottom 3 strings on the 8th fret. And with my first finger, I press the 7th fret of the D string, and I get this sound. And the lick itself starts on the and of the 1, so 1 and. If I try and do that in rhythmic context, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so the rest of the lick goes like this. We've got this position we discussed here, starting on the 7th fret of the D string, barring the 3 high strings of the 8th fret. Then we come down with everything 1 semitone. Now our first finger is on the 6th fret of the D string, and our other finger is barring the top 3 strings of the 7th fret. And then we come down 2 frets, and our first finger is on the 4th fret of the D string, and our finger, keeping the same shape, bars the upper 3 frets of the 5th string. Now what's really cool about this lick is once you've got it, you can kind of use it over any minor chord when the context is appropriate. If I look at where this starts in reference to my A minor chord, this is my A minor chord, and the note that my first finger plays is an A. So that's the root note of my chord, and if I go an octave up, that's the starting note of the lick. And if I find this position in reference to the root note of the minor chord, you can apply that over any minor chord. So if I go to D minor, I have my root note, I come an octave up, and I play that first position of the lick. I can do the same thing. Back to A minor. So now take that, practice it, and use it wherever you can. Lick number 2 is another fun lick from Django, and this one's played over an A minor chord, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the lick starts with 1 bar of 8th notes. Haha, got that right. You start with this open D string with an upstroke, is how I play it. And then you come down the strings, starting on the 7th fret of the D string, which is an A, and come all the way down your A minor arpeggio. So my first finger is barring the top 3 strings of the guitar on the 5th fret. So the first part of the lick is open D string with an upstroke. 1 and 2 and 3. Good, next bit. So we're here. Then you come like this. So from this 5th fret here, this A note, you come up 2 frets to the 7th fret, 8th fret, back to the 5th fret. So now we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Cool, right? It's really following the chord, and it ends on this 9th degree of the A minor chord. So moving on to the next part of the lick, we're here on the 7th fret of the E string, and then we come to the 7th fret of the B string and play the 7th fret, the 10th fret, and then the 9th fret. So we have this all in all so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's quite cool, right? We come up to the G string and play the 9th fret of the G string and go chromatically down to the 7th. So from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. Okay, now to finish this lick off, we have to come to the high E string and play the 8th fret. Pay attention to the rhythmic timing. then we come down the arpeggio. So the second half of that lick will sound like this. So I'm just going on the 5th fret, E string, B string, G string, all barred on the 5th fret, and then 7th fret of the D. And that's an A minor arpeggio in reverse. So all in all, the lick sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and again, if you can memorize this and see its shape within the context of an A minor chord, then you can apply it over any minor chord. So if I come up to the D minor again, we've got lick number 3. Lick number 3 in Django solo is played over an A minor going to a D minor. So this is what it sounds like. Nice, right? And it ends on this B note, which is the natural 6th in D minor, giving it a very gypsy jazz flavor, a very typical Django flavor. It starts with 4 8th notes. Ooh, I hope I got that right. And if you see, you've got an A minor chord here, and the first bar of the lick is over an A minor. You can also play an A minor here. I've got my 3rd finger on the 10th fret of the D string, 1st finger on the 9th fret of the G string, and 3rd finger on the 10th fret of the B string. And this makes a little A minor triad. Okay, and those are the notes of the lick. So try it again and see this in reference to A minor. And if you can sort of make a concrete connection in your mind of these two shapes, you can again apply that to any minor scenario. And the first 4 8th notes are like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 10th fret D string, 9th fret G, 10th fret B string, and then we slide up to the 13th fret of the B, and that's 1 E and A. And fingering wise, I actually change. I use only 2 fingers because that helps me set up for the next part of the lick. So I go 2nd finger on the 1st note, 1st finger on the 2nd note, 2nd finger again, and then slide. The next part of this lick, okay, we have 15th fret of the E string, 13th fret of the E string, and then we come to that 12th fret on the B string, that B, which brings us to the D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And try, when you hit that last note, get a really strong vibrato. If you put a lot of vibrato on that last note, it really brings out the sort of essence of the lick, as opposed to playing it dead like this. Big difference to my ears. Let's move on to lick number 4. This is such a cool lick, and I use it all the time in my own improvising. And in the solo, it's played over an E7 going to an A minor. Again, you can use this over sort of any minor chord where the context is appropriate. The lick starts on the 2 of the bar, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Ah, so cool. So this is what's going on. The first half of the lick goes like this. We start on this E note, and we slide down to an E flat and back up to an E. And then we come an octave up to this E on the 12th fret of the high E string. So we have, and then we come down to the 7th fret, and then to the 10th fret, all on the high E string. So the first half of the lick is like this. And remember, it starts on the 2, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now the next bar, to finish the lick, uses 4 8th notes, and it goes like this. And that's 8th fret of the high E string, 9th fret of the B string, 7th of the E string, and then 10th fret of the B. And then it ends on the E note again on the 9th fret of the G string. So we have this. It's so nice. Now, in context, starting on the 2 of the second bar, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Woo, man, I love that lick. Okay, I hope you're with me so far. Let's move on to lick number 5. This is maybe the most crazy lick of Django's solo. It took me ages to learn because it's really hard when you haven't done this stuff before. So if you're slightly new to gypsy jazz and you're excited to learn this lick, that's great. Take your time with it, and I cannot recommend this enough. Practice it slow to get the feel of the rhythm before just sort of trying to muscle through it and get it done fast. You'll get there faster taking it slow. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so lick number 5 sounds like this. So this lick, it starts on the 3rd beat of the bar. It sort of just has this succession of these 8th note triplets, starting from this G note on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and it comes chromatically down in triplets all the way to the open D, and then back up to this F note, all in triplets. So this is what I mean, like 1 triplet, 2 triplet. I'm really hoping that demonstrates it, and just remember in the solo, 3rd beat of the bar, it starts. Now with these triplets, it's really important that you get the weight of the triplet feel in your right hand. That's really essential to this sort of style of playing. Don't just do alternative picking. On the 1 of the triplet, try and have a downstroke, and when you change string, try and have a downstroke. And with the extra weight of the gravity of the downstroke, that's how you bring the life of this lick out. Yeah, okay, so again, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. Okay, that's the first part of the lick. Now, there is 16th notes. Woohoo! So you change the triplet feel and do this kind of like diminished run. So my 3rd finger is here on the 3rd fret of the D string after we've just finished that whole triplet passage. And I bring my 1st finger to the 1st fret of the G string. So I've kind of got this sound. Okay, I'm picking the D string, G string, and B string. And then to finish, I'm going to need to, after playing the B string, bring a finger to the 3rd fret of the B string playing a D note. So like, and that is, at least the way I play it, is down, 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 up. So let's try and put these things together. 1 triplet, 2 triplet. Now to finish this bad boy off, after doing this upstroke on the 3rd fret of the B string, I don't know what the rhythm value is called, maybe it's like kind of a ghost note. You do this very quick, 1st fret, 3rd fret, slide to the 4th fret. So it kind of sounds like this. Reference his solo or my transcription or many of the other transcriptions if you need to visually see what that means, but I worked it out by ear. I'm sorry I don't know the right words to express this rhythmically, but I hope I get it across to you. So far we have this, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. Then we come up to the 7th fret of the high E string. Play that, and then go down an A minor arpeggio. So we got 7, 7, upstroke on the 5th fret of the high E string, and then downstroke, 5th fret of the B, downstroke, 5th fret of the G, downstroke, 5th fret of the D. Here's the whole lick slow. 1 triplet, 2 triplet. So good luck with that, and that lick is really worth the effort. It's so much fun to play, and for me, it was kind of my first crazy Django chromaticism lick I ever learned. So if you're new and you want to give it a go, I cannot recommend push through and find the way, but do it slowly and relaxed. So that brings us to the end of this part of the lesson, and I'd like to let you know that tabs for this, including picking directions, properly written out rhythm instructions, are available in PDF on my website for purchase, or they're available on my Patreon along with all my other tab resources. Now, this video lesson is actually going to continue with 2 more licks that are only available on my Patreon. So if you want to check them out, this is what they sound like. And now we're going to dive into that over there. Make sure you write in the comments which one of these 5 is your favorite, and please don't forget to subscribe. See you guys soon.